to eat and drink with his left hand. And this is something that is very essential to practice, to learn how to eat and drink according to the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Many of times you see people have the habit of using left hand for eating and drinking. So a lot of times a person who's lefty, he finds an excuse that I can't use my right hand, so I'll use my left. So even if you are in the habit, because this is a habit that can be changed. It is not something you're born with using one hand for a specific thing and you can't change it. This is the ability that a person needs to develop. And once a person was eating with the left hand and the Prophet ﷺ told him, Kul bi yaminik, eat with your right hand. And he said, La astati'u, I cannot do this because whatever reason. And muhaddithun, they explained that this person was very much arrogant regarding his behavior, that I cannot change this for myself. And the Prophet ﷺ said to him afterward that mastata'ta, you will never be able to do this. And then eventually he was never be able to do this. So the lesson to be learned here is good habits, good things, they need to be practiced upon. Bad habits, they develop in the life of human being. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran, وَنَفْسِ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taken the qasam of the soul, and whatever it develops, the evil as well as the good. And one of the reasons that Mufassirun has mentioned that the evil is mentioned before the good, because for good you need to make an effort. And for evil to develop is just watching. You know, you see people, they get very much hooked onto evil before they can get into good. You have to try really hard. A person needs to make a greater effort. Because good is something that is not soothing to your nafs, nor accommodated by shaitan. And evil is something that is soothing to your nafs, as well as shaitan will maintain and make sure that it flourishes in your behavior. So when you're doing good, you have to go against your nafs and you have to go against shaitan. So there is a double battle that is taking place there. So that's why it is very essential that we develop good habits. As the hadith mentions, كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, that the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم used to use his right hand for all the good things. You know, taking, greeting, saying salam, starting something with, or starting to do something. All of these good things, combing his hair, the right side before the left, washing. All of these things, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam used the right hand for what? Because these are the actions of khair. And all the actions of goodness should be done through the right hand, as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam made a habit of himself. And then he encouraged every single person to use the same habit. And all the Sahaba, they developed that same habit, even if it was difficult for some of them due to their nature of using left hand for a lot of things. But they did it. Why? Because it was the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we should develop the same love in our heart for the Prophet alaihi salam as well as his sunnah. We ask Allah to grant us the understanding and the ability to practice. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Jazakumullahu khairan. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu.